theoretical framework and conceptual framework. And I have given a few points which will help you understand the difference between theoretical framework and conceptual framework. See, the theoretical framework is one of the most important aspects in the research process. But we, as a doctoral candidate or a MPhil research scholar, we often, neglect it. The importance of theory-driven thinking and acting is very important in relation to when you are selecting a topic, the development of research question, the conceptualization of the literature review, the design, and the analysis plan for the thesis. Research is not only about, coming up with new things, but planning it in such a manner that you get things in a particular order of occurrence. Like we all in our, life, we buy house to live. And suppose you bought a plot and you want to construct a house. Then what you need? You need a blueprint. Why that blueprint is required? Because if you do not have blueprint, then you cannot give direction to the laborers that how you are visualizing your house. So the research is very similar to building a house, new house, or renovation of old one. See, like there is an existing theory, and with the help of your research, the theory may exist further or may disappear. Because if this, if your data is supporting the existing theory, but if data is not supporting the existing theory, that will definitely, raise a question. And if similar research work is, coming regularly, then in that case, a generalized view will definitely be formed, and that generalized view will pave way for development of a concept and theory. So theoretical framework is a very important part of research. It talks about the problem and most important, the variables of the research. Independent variable, dependent variable. Then how do we, treat them? Whether we want to learn the understanding or we want to learn relationship between the variable. Suppose you have a particular problem in hand. The problem is study R. You want to analyze impact of R of study and marks. Suppose you have this assumption that if you study, say, for 8 hours, you'll get good marks. So we can start our research with this assumption. So here the R of study is one variable and the marks are another variable. So one is study R is independent variable and the marks that you get is dependent variable. But there is another very important variable which plays very important role. That is extraneous variable. which is not in the control of a researcher. Even if you take care of several things, and if you try to keep, say, the age group of your respondents similar, say, the respondents that you have taken is of, say, same age group, 20 years old, or the respondents are from the same college, the respondents are from the same say discipline, mass communication, for example, and you have conducted the study, and you have collected information that out of 20 students, suppose Ram was studying for 8 hours, Rahim was studying for 6 hours, then somebody, Jasmine, was studying for, say, 2 hours, somebody was studying for, say, 4 hours, 6 hours, and likewise, and you collected the information, and you got the information about 20 students, that how much hour they devote for studying. And then later on you collected information about their marks, that how much marks they got in MA Mass Communication. In most of the cases, we have assumed that the number of hours will definitely affect the result, marks. And in most of the cases, it is visible also that number of R is affecting the result. But in some cases, the number of R had no basically role. Somebody who studied for, say, 4 hours got 90 marks, and someone who studied for, say, 8 hours got 91 marks. So number one studied 8 hours per day and the other one is 4 hours per day. But the marks difference is not significant, just 1 marks. So how it happened? So here comes the role of extraneous variable, which influence the result. And the extraneous variable in this case may be IQ level, the IQ of the student. The student who got 90 marks and devoted 4 hours, and the student who got 91 marks devoted 8 hours, but their IQ level is different. And even if you check the IQ level and then conduct the research, you'll find that there are variables which may affect the research either positively or negatively. But we have to see whether the influence of extraneous variable is significant or not. So we can, see it with the help of statistical measure. So what I'm just trying to communicate that there is a theory that says number of R is important for marks, and it is proven also in most of the cases. But in some cases, it is not proved that the number of R is important for getting good marks. Rather, there are other, important issues. So similarly, when you are going for a research, the theoretical framework is one of the most important aspects in the research process. A component that is often covered in doctoral coursework. I'm really quite, what we call it, I was really not able to find even a few institutions in India which were discussing about theoretical framework or conceptual framework. I'm also going through the doctoral research of many universities, including mine, where students are not able to write theoretical framework and conceptual framework correctly because they are not able to understand it. And when you are utilizing a theoretical framework in a research work, the theoretical framework will definitely play as foundation of your research work. It simply means that your knowledge is constructed metaphorically and literally. And the theoretical framework serves as the structure and support for the rational knowledge, the problem is the purpose, the significance, and the research questions. The theoretical framework provides a grounding base or an anchor for the literature review. And most importantly, the methods and analysis. Well, as a researcher, you don't have, much choice about, not keeping a theoretical framework. And the choice is not arbitrary. Our personal beliefs and, understanding. And let me tell you very frankly that without a theoretical framework, the structure of your research would be unclear. Much like the example that I have given you, that without a blueprint, your house, construction of your house is very difficult. So, theoretical framework is blueprint for your research. And it serves as a guide on which the thesis is written. And I advise the students that you must select and clarify a theoretical framework the moment you have chosen a topic. Now, theories, when we talk about theories, come from a multitude of sources in each discipline. In mass communication, we have heavily drawn theories from sociology, from political science, from, psychology. And there are, options are many. Behavioral theories, you find it in psychology, developmental theories, cognitive theories, community theory, feminist theory, functionalist, Marxist. So we have a lot of options. Suppose you want to study about, the media behavior and function in a democracy like India and in another democracy, say China. So here the theory of press would be the guiding principle. If you want to know about, the freedom of press and how media persons are basically treated in a particular country, how much freedom they have for expressing views on issues which are very important for the common man, but they are against the government. So how much freedom they have to publish views that are not supporting but opposing the government. So when the views which are not supporting the government finds appropriate place in media, would definitely indicate about the freedom of press in that country. And as we know that there is a particular way media behave in a Marxist or a country which is following Marxism, or a country which is authoritarian in nature. And authority is of anybody. Authority may be of an individual. Like Xi Jinping is basically Xi Jinping is an authority. He is a leader of Communist Party, but he himself is a authority. So as an individual, as well as leader of the party, he dictates things in China. Though China is, if we look at technically, is a democracy. Leaders are elected. But what kind of democracy? Say, for example, India. India is also a democracy. Every 5 years we have elections, and recently elections are held, and transfer of power is very smooth. But can we say that this is the only criteria which will decide about freedom of press? So what theories will govern my research if I am analyzing about the freedom of press in India? So the 4 theories of press will definitely be the guiding principle. Apart from that, how individual give response to media content, agenda setting, will definitely play a very important role. My advice to you all the researchers, that when you are selecting your area of research and going for literature review, make sure that your theoretical or conceptual framework is well defined. The theories, concepts that are the backbone of your research, if they are written correctly, you will have a wonderful time doing your research work. Research is a once in a lifetime achievement, and this achievement will remain with you forever. And if you take a little precaution, study before finalizing your synopsis and research area, that will help you a lot. So thank you, and hope that this video is useful for making you understand the theoretical framework, and there are some other concepts also. I'll definitely make video on those concepts, small but very important ones. And if you have any question, you can write down in the comment box, and I'll make a video on the issue or the idea that you will suggest. Thank you.